You ask most people what their number one fear is. What do you think it is? Most people's number one fear is public humiliation. Okay? I don't give a fuck anymore. I'm not afraid of it.
Mel Gibson's latest film, Sound of Freedom, is causing a stir in Hollywood. Known for his roles in Mad Max and Braveheart, Gibson has often been at the center of controversy. But this time, it's not just his acting that's in the spotlight. It's his outspoken opposition to woke culture. In a 6-year-old interview with John Lithgow, Gibson even predicted the dramatic changes Hollywood was about to face.
Never seen Hollywood quite so shaken by anything.
It's a little late,
So we'll see how it all shakes down. Hopefully it clears the air a little bit.
Woke culture originally began as a push for social justice, but according to Gibson, it has now turned into something that restricts creativity and silences anyone with a different opinion. He describes it as a creativity-crushing, silence-enforcing beast and says he's had enough. Gibson compares Hollywood to a group of priests who punish and exclude anyone who doesn't follow their beliefs.
Passively sit by and tolerate any kind of nonsense, but if one of their priests utters something that resembles orthodoxy, well then they spring into action, they reprimand him, and they bully him and do their best to cancel him. And it's easy. They drum him out of the service, off he goes.
From the start, Sound of Freedom faced resistance from major studios. The film doesn't just avoid political correctness, it challenges it head-on. It dives into the harsh reality of child trafficking in Latin America, a subject Gibson believes Hollywood often ignores. Day One Studios attempted to suppress the film, hoping it would be forgotten. But Gibson and his team had other ideas. Instead of backing down, they came up with a clever plan, releasing the film gradually in different countries. This strategy kept the film in the public eye and created ongoing buzz.
Social contract. You can't get mad. You can't get mad. You can't let it get you, because you have to make a deal with everyone else, and it's almost unspoken that you are going to be fucked over at some point.
Social contract is simple. You can't get upset. You can't let things bother you because, in a way, you have to accept that everyone makes deals with each other, and it's almost understood that at some point, you're going to get let down.
Sound of Freedom is smashing it at the box office and is being attacked continually by the mainstream. Is that because it's a box office success?
Strategy wasn't just clever, it was groundbreaking. Sound of Freedom didn't just break box office records. It sparked conversations about corruption in the entertainment industry and Hollywood's hypocrisy. Unlike most films that fade away quickly, this one kept the debate going, bringing attention to the grim realities of child trafficking.
Recruiters weren't the guys. It wasn't some weird dude in a mask, glasses, and a white van. It was a woman. It was a non-threatening person. So this 17-year-old girl recruits this 10-year-old and was horrified what happened. So she promises this girl candy and ice cream. But what she finds is a bunch of guys that kidnapped her, shot her full of fentanyl, and she had to hear this 10-year-old girl for the next 2 hours.
The industry's response was quick and intense. Mainstream media launched a series of attacks on the film, as Sound of Freedom directly challenged the woke agenda that dominates Hollywood. Instead of stepping back, Gibson became the film's most vocal supporter, calling out the hypocrisy of an industry that claims to care about social issues, but remains silent on child trafficking.
That's how this town has been running for so long. They'll mute you. They'll try to mute you at all.
In recent interviews, Gibson has been open about his belief that Hollywood has lost its direction, focusing more on political agendas than on real storytelling. In a world where stepping outside the norm can lead to being excluded, Gibson feels he's come back stronger than ever. For him, the real hypocrisy in Hollywood is how quick the industry is to cancel those who stray from the line, while conveniently ignoring serious issues when it suits them.
Beginning to end is very brief. He says, women on film, either naked or dead. Both is better. And it's like, whoa! Ooh.
Sound of Freedom has exposed the cracks in Hollywood's facade, showing that while some praise its boldness, many in the industry dismiss it as fear-mongering. However, with strong support from a global audience and Gibson's determination, the film not only survived but thrived. It has made a lasting impact on the film industry, challenging the norms Hollywood tries to impose.
I asked Mel to present this award to me for a reason, because when I couldn't get sober, He told me not to give up hope, and he urged me to find my faith. Didn't have to be his or anyone else's as long as it was rooted
In today's Hollywood, following the woke narrative often feels more important than addressing real-world issues. Mel Gibson stands out as a rebellious figure, while the industry presents itself as a champion of social justice, often prioritizing its image over confronting uncomfortable truths. Hollywood frequently tries to suppress films that challenge its agenda, but in doing so, it only amplifies the very messages it seeks to silence. Unlike the industry's politically correct productions, Gibson is an unconventional filmmaker. He chooses to tell stories that push boundaries, provoke thought, and stir controversy. For example, Hacksaw Ridge tells the true story of Desmond Doss, who saved 75 soldiers in World War II without firing a shot. The film is raw and emotionally intense, showing the brutal realities of war, a sharp contrast to the often sanitized Hollywood narratives. The film received widespread praise from both critics and audiences, and Gibson earned another Oscar nomination. More importantly, it showed that viewers crave authentic, meaningful stories, not just those that fit into a politically correct box. It's also worth noting that Gibson has the support of his colleagues, even when it's unpopular. Robert Downey Jr. has publicly praised Gibson for standing by him during a difficult time in his life. Downey Jr. recalls how Gibson encouraged him to find hope and faith, stressing that it didn't matter whose faith it was, as long as it was rooted in forgiveness. This personal support reveals a side of Gibson that is often overlooked, overshadowed by his controversial public persona.
Today's easy cancel culture world and cancel culture, woke culture, this culture, that culture, division, etc., that really bugs me.
Hollywood's response to figures like Gibson highlights the industry's glaring double standards. When celebrities like Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson face accusations of scandalous behavior, such as being linked to child trafficking conspiracy theories, the reactions are often divided. Some defend them, while others quietly distance themselves. There's rarely a major uproar.
It does feel different. I think because, I don't know, I think just because I've been around longer, it's different. Yeah. I'm more relaxed about the whole thing, because there's no point in being anything else, right?
It's true.
So, I'm not going to get all wound up about it. I'm going to just try and, observe.
The key difference with Mel Gibson is that he refuses to back down. Having witnessed Hollywood's darker side, endured public scandals, and faced blacklisting, he's come out stronger with a renewed sense of purpose. For Gibson, this struggle is about more than filmmaking. It's about preserving the soul of Hollywood. So, what does this ongoing battle mean for the future of the entertainment industry? One thing is clear: Mel Gibson is here to stay. As Hollywood pushes its woke agenda, Gibson stands firm, and he's not alone. His films are connecting with a growing audience that feels out of touch with Hollywood's current direction.
I had a whole bunch of weird paranoid suspicions about what the hell was going on because there was a lot of stuff I couldn't understand.
The battle is far from over. Hollywood is a powerful force that resists challenges, but Gibson has proven he's not afraid to take on influential figures. Whether or not you agree with his views, it's clear that Mel Gibson is making an impact. The industry is feeling the pressure as it tries to balance artistic freedom with social responsibility. Gibson's strong opposition to the woke agenda has made him a controversial figure. Some see him as a trailblazer pushing boundaries, while others feel he's out of touch with today's values. What's undeniable, though, is that he's one of the few willing to challenge the established norms. Gibson's commitment to telling bold, thought-provoking stories, even in the face of backlash, sparks a larger conversation about the importance of free expression and storytelling in our culture.